Okay, so my journey into tech wasn't so much a guided one. It wasn't as straightforward. I remember being younger and really being into animations and games. I thoroughly loved animated films, and I thought one day I'd really love to do this, and I shared it with my mother, and I'm like, Mom, I want to go into animation. And she strongly felt that I wouldn't be able to get work in that. So that sort of adjusted how I thought about the things to consider when picking a career. And because I was good in math, she felt I shouldn't limit myself. There were many options. And so I considered construction. I was very curious, analytical, and I was always interested in knowing how things worked. But I remember my first day of university going to career guidance and just having that uncertainty about the choice I'd made. Since I was good in math, I think that pivoted her thinking into what's another field where the skill can be well applied. And then she started asking me about things I liked, and I told her that I actually wanted to do animation. So I studied multimedia, which specializes in game development and animation. So it included that along with software development, and that was an easier thing to sell to my mother. And we sort of reached that compromise. She was actually happy with that choice, and that's how I ended up in the field. So at Khula, I'm currently working as a front-end developer, and my primary focus is building the user interfaces for our systems, or the parts that the user interacts with. And I think that's important because beyond just digitizing traditional ways of doing things, at Khula we are also focused on giving our users a better experience in the things that they're currently doing. It's not just about bringing technology into agriculture, it's also about bringing efficiency, optimization, accountability. And I think those are important things to think about, especially when you think about sustainability. Diversity is important for a diverse opinion, for diverse voices, because at the end of the day, we're creating for a diverse user base. We're creating for different people of different genders, of different ethnicity, of different walks of life. So representation is important. Inclusivity is important. I'd like to see the language changing. I think when we call industries male-dominated industries, we already make it intimidating for any person different from that criteria to try pursue that field, especially because it also creates the notion of women are coming into that space to compete with men, and I don't necessarily think that's true. We're more interested in complementing each other, in making it a better and more inclusive space for better creation and better impact on the world at large. I think it's important for young women to receive guidance from a young age, because I think many a times not knowing people in particular fields, not knowing your options, not having the information about what's available out there sort of limits your outlook on the things that you can do, the things that are achievable to you. So I'd like to see companies being more involved in high schools and early education, and especially also providing, importantly, is information, and also providing the view of women in those spaces, because many a times our mothers are not necessarily in those spaces, so we don't even have people to look up to. So the onus is on companies and women in those spaces to create that visibility for themselves.